Major breaking news out of the WBO. Hello, everybody. Call Star here at Fightful.com and FightfulBoxing.com. Major news regarding the WBO Super Flyweight title. Today, we were supposed to get a purse bid between Donnie Nietes, the world champion at 115 pounds, and Aston Palicte, who is the mandatory challenger to Nietes' title. However, we got hit with a major twist as Donnie Nietes has instead vacated the WBO Super Flyweight title. Here's the article as it appears on FightfulBoxing.com. The 4th division champion wrote a letter to WBO president Francisco Valcarcel stating his intent on relinquishing the world title that he won on December 31st, 2018, ending his reign without a single title defense. The letter written by Nietes can be seen in the article or on my Twitter at CarlosToro360, but I will read it to you right here just so you can get an idea of why this news happened. It says, "Dear Mr. Valcarcel, first of all, I would like to thank you and the WBO for giving me another chance to fight for the World Super Flyweight title against Kazuto Ioka after the painful draw against Aston Palicte." This referring to the draw the two of them had last September. "It took me a long time to think about this very difficult decision, but I feel that every fight for me at this stage of my career is crucial for my future. I have long been dreaming to have a career-defining fight. There is not much time for me in this sport at 37 years old." Now, this was followed up with a second letter by ALA Promotions president and CEO Michael Aldeguer, who sort of echoed Nietes' sentiments and added that a rematch against Palicte, who is his fellow countryman, would be an emotional and mental challenge after the two fought to a controversial draw last year, a draw that many thought that Nietes had won, rightfully so, in my opinion. Now, the two boxers, the two were wanted to fight for the title again after the rematch, after the first fight ended last September, I should say. But the WBO would later announce, weeks later at their convention, that Nietes would fight Ioka in Macau, China on New Year's Eve to crown a new champion, while Palicte would fight Puerto Rican boxer Jose Martinez in a title eliminator. Nietes won the fight by split decision, a very close and competitive fight to win the WBO Super Flyweight title and join an elite group of boxers to win world titles at least 4 weight classes. In the meantime, Palicte stopped Martinez in 2 rounds on January 31st on a boxing card streamed on UFC Fight Pass worldwide. Now, as for what is next for the vacant WBO title at 115 pounds, normally, the organization orders its 2 highest-ranked available contenders to fight for the title. Now, looking at the WBO rankings here at 115 pounds, over here, and this is me clicking on the rankings as it is, as of maybe 10 minutes ago. It says here that Aston Palicte is the #1 contender. That was already known, and he is going to get a chance at the title regardless of what Nietes' future holds for him. Now, #2 is Juan Francisco Estrada, who is the former title challenger to the WBC title, as you all remember from that excellent fight against Shisake Soren Visai back in February 2018. However, Estrada is going to be fighting Soren Visai again on April 26th, so he's out of contention for the WBO title. Ryoichi Funai, the Asia Pacific champion, who's ranked #3, does not have his next fight officially announced. However, it is heavily rumored and very likely that he will go the IBF route, challenging Jerwin Ancajas on a top-ranked card to be announced at a later future. We don't know if that fight is going to take place in the United States, very likely so, and we don't know if it's going to be on its own top-ranked card or if it will be a part of an existing Top Rank card. Top Rank has a lot of boxing cards coming up in March and April, but we don't know if it's going to join that schedule or if it will be its own thing in May or beyond, or even in April. So we don't know. So that leaves Kazuto Ioka ranked #4, possibly with another chance at the WBO Super Flyweight title. As I mentioned, the fight between Nietes and Ioka was very, very competitive. Some people thought that Ioka won that fight. Now, Palikte versus Ioka is a very interesting matchup. It's a really good fight. If we've seen anything from the Palikte performance against Jose Martinez, Palikte certainly has gotten some confidence back. He's a strong, aggressive puncher, and I think that will make for a good fight between him and Ioka. However, I could very much be wrong on that part, as the fight between Nietes and Ioka last September in Carson, California was not exactly the fight of the year candidate that maybe some people would have expected, or even a very good fight for that matter. And least of all, it ended in a very controversial draw that many thought should have gone Donnie Nietes' way. It's interesting to see how the WBO phrased the Nietes situation right before they made the announcement. WBO President Francisco Valcarcel announced on Twitter that he is going to be honoring Nietes' career on the WBO convention at the end of the year in Tokyo, Japan. What's interesting about that is that they don't necessarily do that for active world champions. So that already kind of threw some people off. Some people thought that Nietes was going to be retiring. Some thought that he was going to vacate the title. Now, it looks like that Nietes is going to keep on fighting, but not as the WBO super flyweight champion. Now, if you look at that division, but by the way, it's a very stacked division, 115 pounds. But really, that career-defining fight that Nietes was alluding to in his letter to Francisco Valcarcel is most likely referring to a potential showdown against Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, which to many boxing fans of the lower weight classes, a fight between the two would be a dream match, as the two have never fought each other, yet have been probably the two most successful fighters, arguably, from 115 pounds and below for the past decade or so. It's going to be very interesting to see if that fight ever gets made. Donnie Nietes vacates his WBO super flyweight title. Let me know of what your thoughts are on the news. Who do you think is going to be the new WBO super flyweight champion? Will it be Kazuto Ioka, Aston Palikte, or even a wild card that comes in out of nowhere? Leave us a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our new Fightful MMA and Boxing YouTube channel. Head on over to Fightful.com for all the latest news regarding pro wrestling, MMA, and boxing. Carlos Toro of FightfulBoxing.com signing out.